everyone, I wanted to give you some ideas on some healthy dessert options. Welcome back to this week's Simple Healthy Solution. So a lot of times that's a question that I'm asked is about sweet treats. So in an effort to keep our added sugar intake low, which we've talked about before, remember trying to keep it to no more than 24 grams of added sugar for females and no more than 30 grams of added sugar for males, I wanted to give you a couple of ideas of maybe things that you can incorporate into your diet that would help meet that need for something sweet, but a little bit more nutritious for you. So the first one involves a ripe banana. You just peel your banana and you're gonna mash it in the bowl. Nice and mashed up banana. I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon. Now, you don't have to if you don't like cinnamon, but I love cinnamon, so I like to add it to everything. I'm gonna mix that in. I'm gonna put in just a few dark chocolate chips. And then a half a cup of oats. And then we're gonna mix that all together. All right, so once that's all mixed together, there we go. I am just going to roll them so that it's like a cookie. And I just sprayed my pan here. So that was one ripe banana, half a cup of oats, a few chocolate chips, and some cinnamon. And now I'm gonna bake them in my oven on 350 for 10 minutes. All right, so for our next sweet treat, you know how I recently told you I love these medjool dates? Them on their own are very sweet, and I love them just like this. But maybe you want something a little bit more decadent, you know, something a little more flavorful, a little more texture. You cut it in half like this, and I'm going to use sun butter because I can't eat peanut butter. And then you just take a smear. So it's like not even a teaspoon, right? Because there's not that much room on here. But we're going to fill our little date with some nut butter, whichever you like. And then we're gonna take a couple of our chocolate chips. Now these are dark chocolate. Remember, the darker the chocolate, the better. Less sugar, more cocoa. And if you want, you could dip these in chocolate and then refrigerate them. I don't really like that, so I'm not a big like chocolate coated person. So I prefer something like this. So we've got our little date with some nut butter and chocolate chips, and then bon appetit. Okay, so this is like delicious. It kind of feels like you're eating something really unhealthy, but it's not. Because it's loaded with nutrients, higher source of fiber, some protein, some flavonoids. So the benefits of eating something like this outweigh eating any candy bar any day. Oh, I'm gonna stop eating now so I can keep talking. But that's another little delicious option for you to try. We're gonna wait for our cookies to come out of the oven so we can try those together as well. But this is what you wanna start to look for when it comes to desserts. Remember in the past we talked about the 3-bite rule when it comes to something really decadent, cheesecake, a rich chocolate cake, maybe a crumble cookie, right? 3-bite rule. First bite is the one where the fireworks are going off and you're like, oh, this is so delicious. The second bite is like, yeah, this is good, I like it. And then the third bite, it's just, you're just eating it just because it's there, not because you really are getting that same exciting response that you had from the first bite. So when it comes to those types of foods, try to keep that in mind. When you're home and you're like, I want something, but I don't want to be bad, you know? Look in your cabinet, see what you have. What could you make? Do a Google search. Find me healthy dessert options. There's so many ways that you can satisfy that sweet tooth and have it be a little bit more nutritious. So we're gonna wait for our cookies to come out of the oven and we'll try those and we'll be back. All right, so it's been 10 minutes and our cookies are ready. So our banana oat chocolate cinnamon cookie. It smells really good. Like my house smells really good right now. This is really delicious. I probably want to let it cool a little bit so I don't burn my mouth. But the texture is nice and soft. It gives you that bite that you're looking for when you want like a cookie. And of course the chocolate and the cinnamon add to the flavor. So this is a really nice little treat that you can make yourself. It didn't take long. We just mashed up a banana and added some oats and some chocolate chips and some cinnamon and threw it in the oven. If you're looking for something a little different, you don't want to, again, eat like a regular cookie, but you just want something like a cookie, here you go. This is a great option. Good source of fiber, good source of potassium. You got a little bit of chocolate in there, some cinnamon for anti-inflammatory properties, and you got yourself a nice little treat. So those are two really good options if you're looking to satisfy a sweet tooth. A lot more nutritious than some of the other stuff that we might buy in the store. Let's give it a try. Keep watching so we can get Kelly's feedback and see what Better Bites, Better Life has to say about our options here. That's this week's Simple Healthy Solution. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and follow.